What's up, everybody? Jonathan Rose, Masters in Trading, and today we're going to look at Carvana. Carvana is in front of you. Last trade, $63.67. Carvana was a unicorn, a company that comes out with over $1 billion valuation, and now the valuation is close to $7 billion. Carvana deals in used cars. The recent run-up in February, it traded as low as 30 to a high of 67. You don't really see that very often. All of a sudden, companies doubling in value in 2 months. So what's the reason for the move? Well, they are disrupting the automotive industry, but right now they only own like 2.5% of the used car industry. What I think is going on is there's a massive short position building up. So as the stock rallies, you're going to see a lot of people forced to short cover. I think the short is like 65 or close to 70% right now. So I think that's why this rally really got exaggerated. And I would think Carvana's got to come down to this 50-45 area. Just too much too fast. Being a professional trader for the last 20 years, I got in the business in 1997. One of the keys to how I look at the market is using what's called a relative value approach. Think of it like a pair trading. We do that to try to see what's inexpensive and what's expensive relative to something else. It makes no sense to me when people are saying something is undervalued or overvalued. Well, overvalued or undervalued relative to what? So CarMax or Carvana, I think their biggest competitor after doing a bunch of research is going to be CarMax. So if I look on a weekly, going back, we can see CarMax is this purple line, hasn't really moved. Carvana's been extremely volatile. Well, even daily, just going back to May of 2018, it's kind of same thing. CarMax actually sold off, rallied a little bit, but look at the volatility in Carvana. And especially recently, if these really are competitors, why is it that Carvana is doubling in value while its competitor is only up 10 or 12%? What I think is happening is the company buying back stock so then insiders can sell their stock at an inflated price. Combine that with the massive short exposure as that stock rallies, people get margin calls, so there's follow through the upside. This seems like just too much too fast. It's actually one of my favorite positions right now. And what I like to do is buy puts in Carvana with the May expiration. If we look in May, the reason I want to be in May is Carvana has an estimated earnings of May 8th. That would put us in the May expiration. Whenever you're trading options, if you're going to trade from the long side, if you're buying puts, if you're buying calls, you need a reason for the stock to move. For us, the reason for the stock to move is, for one, it's extremely volatile anyway, but post earnings is a catalyst for movement. I think a really good play is to buy downside puts in Carvana. The 55s, $1.95 bid at 210. If you were to be a $2 bid, limit order bid. If you buy 10, you have $2,000 of risk. If you buy 1, you have $200 of risk. The great thing about an approach like this is you can never lose more than you bet, than you decide to invest. So if I decided to be $2 bid on 10 options, and if I get filled, that's $2,000. I can never lose more. And if we're right and Carvana does trade down to 50 or maybe even better 45 in the next 32 days, which does include that earnings, well, if it trades 45 and we're along the 55s, our puts will make $10. That would be $10,000 minus the $2,000 that we invested in the position. So we're going to get a 5-to-1 return on that. 200 pays off at 1,000 or 2,000 pays off at 10,000. It's actually 4-to-1 if we're going to be technical. So that's what I'm looking at. That's the trade that makes a ton of sense for me. Again, I don't believe that stocks just move in a vacuum, move by themselves. So as the short position builds up, as the stock rallies, it follows through to the upside because of the margin calls for the shorts. Once that's over, I would assume Carvana rolls over and trades along with its competitors in the space. That's what I'm looking at. That's the trade I really like right now. If you have any questions, guys, in the comments below, Leave your questions. I'll make sure I reply to each one of you. Thanks again. My name's Jonathan Rose, owner, Masters in Trading.